Hello and welcome to today's University of St. Francis webinar, Online Together, how USF supports online students like you. Thanks everybody so much for attending today. My name is Dave and I'm going to be moderating the discussion today. So what is that discussion? We're actually going to be watching a video of a previous recording of this webinar. The information is just as relevant now as it was then. And as we go through that recording, we're going to meet members of the USF online support team. They're going to explain their roles as well as others who are going to join you on your journey to your USF degree and the different varied support that each of those team members holds. We will have a live Q&A session with members of the support team after the recording. So the recording goes about 20 minutes or so, and then we have that live Q&A. You don't have to wait for the Q&A portion to ask your question. You should see a Q&A icon on your screen. You can click that at any time and submit your question once you see or hear anything that intrigues you and that you want to learn more about. We're happy to take your questions, and then we will answer them at that Q&A session after the recording, but feel free to ask those questions at any time. So with that, let's go the right way and play a recording. Okay. The first is Justin Burnett. He is an enrollment coach at the University of St. Francis, and you'll find out what that means here in a little bit. Justin has been with USF for about 2 years now and has 13 years of total experience in higher education serving students. So Justin, welcome. Tahana Harrison is next. She is a success coach at the University of St. Francis. And again, you'll find out what a success coach does a little bit later on. About a year and a half with us at USF, 14 years experience in higher education, helping students achieve their goals. So Tahana, good to have you with us. Our final presenter today is Alicia Garza. Again, about 2 years or so with us at the University of St. Francis and about 11 years of total professional experience within higher education. And so collectively, between these three members of our team, we've got about 40 years, 4 decades of experience serving students, helping them achieve their outcomes, to overcome obstacles and progress on their path to a degree. So you're going to hear from each one, Justin, Tahana, and Alicia, about what they do to help students, as well as other folks that help support students. And as we thought about, well, what's kind of a good metaphor to talk about this online support team, we thought of that old board game, the game of life. You know, you start at the beginning of the game and you got your car and you have your little pegs, you put yourself in there, and then along the way, as you progress through the game, you have different people added to your car to join you in the journey. And so we thought that was a great metaphor to explain USF and the online support team that is with you from the time you first request more information all the way through to graduation. And so with that, I'm going to turn the time to Justin, and he's going to get us started to talk about his role as an enrollment coach and how that supports online students at USF. So Justin, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. So yeah, basically here at USF, you're going to be assigned an enrollment coach. They're going to be available there to help you throughout the whole enrollment process. Our job is pretty simple. We're here to assist, basically ensure you're meeting deadlines, turn in any required admissions documents that's going to be needed. But there's not just me. There's definitely going to be a whole enrollment team here to help you. This means that not only your individual enrollment coach, if for some reason they're unavailable, basically any of our enrollment team folks will be available to help guide you through the journey here at USF. So part of the job of the enrollment coach is basically to get to know you, understand your educational backgrounds, maybe the current situation that you're in, and basically any of the career and educational goals that you may have. We're going to review that with you. We're going to understand your desired future expectations, basically help recommend the program that works best for you in your future. For myself, I was in the military for 9 years, right out of high school. So you could say I definitely started out as a very adult learner. When it came to college, I had multiple responsibilities, multiple obligations, and different priorities, not just including school. I feel that most of our students, they're typically in that exact same arena. You know, they definitely like the idea of continuing education, but not sure if realistically if that can actually be done. My job showing you is going to be showing you a visible path to actually complete your educational goals while still taking care of your responsibilities, opening yourself up for opportunity, That's really what our programs here at USF are really all about. Um, to me, throughout my military career, I always had folks that say, "Hey, there's always excuses out there," and I think that goes along with school. There's always going to be a good excuse not to go to school. So I guess my question for you guys, pretty simple. When the dream opportunity opens up or a position comes available, and the only qualification that you're missing in is actually getting and having your education, what will be your excuse? Not having that degree. So I can promise you it won't be easy, but with an enrollment team like ours, we've all been adult learners ourselves, so we all understand what it's like. We are going to be here to help get you to the finish line. So speaking of support, let's go to Alicia. She's going to go over one of the roles in our support team.
Thank you, Justin. And as you're progressing through enrollment here with University of St. Francis, you will also be assigned a transcript specialist who will be here to help you collect your transcripts if you're applying for virtual campus online programs. We will help you with looking up the schools that you've attended. We'll contact them and help you retrieve those transcripts. We will actually pay for the collection of your transcripts for online virtual campus students as well. So I know that for a lot of students, that's a great help. The transcript specialists will contact the universities to ensure that we do get the transcripts here on time and that we also are able to evaluate them for transfer of credit by the admissions team. Overall, we're here to help you. We're here to support you. And we're going to be here to help you review all the admissions documents that we've received from you, make sure that that is compiled together so that way it can be reviewed by the admissions team for acceptance to your program. We'll submit those documents and they will be reviewed. The transcript specialist is she's great. She will also help you with pre-evaluations of your transcripts. So if you've attended multiple colleges or universities and you think that you might have classes that may transfer over, the transcript specialist will take the time to evaluate those and do a pre-evaluation to give you a good estimate as far as what may or may not come over for you, which is a really wonderful thing because if you have transfer of credit come over, then this helps our students by cutting down the time to earn the degree as well as the overall cost of the program. I've actually had a student that I've worked with recently who needed help with ordering their transcripts and they weren't able to pay the $20 to get their transcripts ordered because of cutbacks from work, just budget, money, things were tight. They had a lot of cutbacks at work due to COVID. And so we got a hold of the transcript specialist here at the university and we were able to help the student retrieve those transcripts. The transcript specialist was able to get the form request filled out and pay for the $20 to receive the transcripts and get those in. So we're here to help, just simply, when times are tough, we're here to help you and help our students along to reach their goals. So speaking of support, let's go ahead and go back to Justin, who's going to talk to us a little bit more about financial aid and understanding students' options for funding as well.
All right, thanks, Alicia. Yeah, so after you're admitted, you're going to be assigned a financial aid counselor. He or she's going to review all your financial aid options with you, help you as far as understanding how financial aid is going to pay for school. They're going to review finance documents, anything additional that they may need, and explain any additional documents that may be required in the future as well. They're going to send you emails. They're going to try to reach out to you by phone. Basically ensure that you're meeting those deadlines as well in order for you to be successful at school. If you're not using financial aid, which we do have students that go that route as well, we do have a business office that's going to be able to not only assist as far as making payment plans, but also making payment plans that best suit you. For the most part here at USF, financial aid is a pretty simple process. We do have some situations that do arise. Not everything's always easy, right? We recently had a student, one of her student loans was actually showing in default. So she wasn't actually able to qualify for any type of financial aid. Long story short, basically what we did was we got in contact with our lender, found out there was actually just a small error made on our debt consolidation. So once we were able to get that debt consolidated, we were able to remove her default from her school and basically get her ready to go to classes. So this is, just another prime example of how through good communication with your enrollment team and your financial aid counselor, how we're able to overcome even some of the biggest obstacles. So that's something you can expect here from University of St. Francis and our team. Speaking of success, let's go to Tahana. She can definitely tell you more about the roles of a success coach. Success coach, let me try that again.
Thank you so much, Justin. So you will be assigned a personal success coach who will be your supports person from the second week of class. This individual, myself and Alicia, we are going to be there to help you with anything that you may come across throughout the program. So as a success coach, we do wear many hats. We become your main point of contact, and our goal is to help make it all the way to graduation and helping you reach your graduation goals. So our model is to help students with questions that they have in the classroom, resources, if it has to do with financial aid, anything that really comes up. If you, depending on your pathway, you can come to us upgrading anything or even just an individual to talk to. That's what we're here for, is we're trying to make it so that you don't feel alone while you're going to school online. You're not just a name here. We know who you are. We know about your background. Everyone pulls together and makes sure that this is the place to be and where you want to be as you go through your program. So just to kind of tell you a little bit of story, one of my students, I had a student who started out in their program. They weren't where they wanted to be, and they struggled at the beginning where they weren't very successful. They ended up on academic probation, and then they were dismissed. Well, even though they were dismissed from the university, I continued to work with that student. We came up with a plan. We talked about what changes were going to be needed to make. He was able to talk to his spouse and really come up with a plan that was going to fit his needs and what he wanted to do. We put all of that together. We put those plans together, how his program was going to go, and we appealed. He was accepted back into the program, and as of June 26th of this year, he graduated with his degree. He is now doing everything that he wanted to do, the reason why he started this program. And he was able to do that because we continued to work with him, even though things didn't work out the way he thought it would at the beginning. So that's just kind of an idea of what we do here at University of St. Francis and how we support our students no matter what the situation is. Our students are not just a name on a list. We are deeply invested with your success, and we are willing to partner with you and go that extra mile that you need us to go so that you can reach those goals. One of the things that we also do is we outline your personalized road map to graduation. Alicia is going to go ahead and continue on with that. So, Alicia.
Thank you, Tahana. So as Tahana mentioned to you, as your success coach, we do wear very many hats, including academic advisor. So in addition to getting to know you and supporting you with any aspect of your program, we are also here to help you out. Tahana and I will map out a program plan schedule for you so you are set up for success based on your needs. This helps you only take the classes that you need. This will save you and our students, this saves our students just on money and as well as time to earn the degree. So that way you're not taking classes that won't apply to your program. We will help you with any schedule adjustments that you need, whether it's to speed up the time to earn the degree or even move down to part-time or even take a break. For instance, I had a student that was expecting her first baby, and she wanted to take some time off from her program to bond and get used to just being a new mom. So in advance, we were able to set up a plan for her to take the spring semester off. We ensured that her financial aid would not be impacted and helped her seamlessly return back into her program for the summer semester. I also had another student of mine that was in the sales industry and had a busy season during the fall months. And I was able to help the student by adjusting their schedule to part-time during the busy season so they can still progress forward in their program instead of staying stagnant. Once the busy season was over, I was able to move the student back to full-time for the rest of their program, ensuring he's able to graduate as quickly as possible. Furthermore, if you are in an education licensure program, we will help ensure that you're aware of the licensing requirements that you need to meet for the state as well. So mapping out an academic plan to graduation really helps so we can get you to graduation as quickly as possible to help you save on time to earn the degree so you can move forward in your career. I believe there was also a question that had popped up regarding, financially, if you needed to take a break and then come back into the next session, so that way you had the funds to pay for classes. Yes, we can adjust and work with your schedule based on what your needs are. So we also work closely with the financial aid counselors to ensure that there is awareness on any financial aid impact on your schedule. So now Tahana will tell you a little bit more about some resources that we have available for our students.
Thank you, Alicia. The resources mentioned in this session are just a few that are available to you as a USF alumni, USF student and alumni. One of the main things that we have is our Career Development Center. This center has multiple resources that we provide for you, that we help you with, from resumes to interview preparation, job search assistance. We also have something that's called Cougar Readiness workshops. These are different workshops that you can go to, you can pull up and go to on your own time. We also have a mentoring program, and if you are looking at some of our undergraduate programs and then wanting to go to a graduate program, we also have our graduate school research. So those are just a few things that our Career Development Center offers. One of the main things that they offer is a database called Handshake. This is where you can go and create your own profile. It's linked right with your account here with USF, and you can load in your degrees, you can load in all the information and try to find different things within the area that you're looking to for a job. And then this is also a way that you communicate with the Career Development Center and setting up those appointments or those meetings and discussing anything that would help with you reaching the goals, whether it's climbing up the corporate ladder or, going to that next level of your job. They're there to help you out with that. While you're in class, one of the biggest resources, not only just your success coach, is going to be your instructors. Our instructors are truly amazing. They care about you as an individual. They care about what's happening with you, and they really want you to reach out to them. Let them know what's going on. You're not going to be a name to them. We keep that small class size for that specific reason. So they're also going to hold you to that higher expectation when it comes to providing timely communication, guidance, and encouragement as you progress through your classes. So don't be afraid to reach out to them and email them. They're there for you for that reason. We also offer tutoring services on campus if you're close to the Fort Wayne campus, or online. Smart Thinking is our online tutoring service. I enjoy Smart Thinking. I've used it myself. It's really great because of the fact that if you have the time, you can do one-on-one tutoring with them. If you don't have the time, you can submit it through the system. It'll go to an individual, they'll evaluate it, and in a couple of days, they'll get it back to you with explanations and revisions. So that's one of the great things about our tutoring services that we have. The other thing is our student accountability services. They're here to support any online students if you have disabilities, different things that are coming up that may not be the norm, something new. We're here to help provide you with those services. So really anything you need as a student, you can reach out to your success coach, myself or Alicia, and we can be able to be there for you and point you in the right direction. I've had many students just like you who need different resources, and there may not be the same resources all the time, but we talk about those during our phone calls and we go over those needs that you may have. So depending on your situation, we may suggest one thing or the other, but we don't have a one-size-fit-all model. We are here to make sure that we ensure that the Career Development Center and all of our many resources are there for you in your time of need. So working with your success coach and understanding what you need is key to working towards success in your field. So as everything that we've gone over today, as you can see, while you're here as a student at USF, you're not alone. We're all here to support you and help build you up to reach your goals of your degree, your career, and graduation. When you first start out, you have your enrollment coach. They're there to help guide you through the entire enrollment process, figuring out what's going to work with you based off of your goals. They're going to then help you get in contact with the enrollment transcript specialist. She's going to be there to help you request those transcripts, do any evaluations that you may have. And then, your second point of contact is going to be your success coach. After the first week of class, your success coach is going to become your main point of contact. And we're going to be wearing those many different hats that we have, whether it's academic advising, whether it's talking about financing, whether it's talking about, I need that break, I need time off, I have this going on. We are here for you no matter what. So as we wear those multiple hats for you, whether it's being a cheerleader or talking about different things, we're going to make sure that you are focused on school and not having to worry about those little things. And some of those little things could be registration or reaching out to someone because you don't have time to reach out to them. And we're going to be able to be there to support you. So as I said, this team, we are here in supporting you and making sure that you reach that goal that you set up and going that.
All right. Hey. Oh, there we go. All right. So that concludes the recording, and we've got Justin and Alicia and Tahana standing by to answer your questions. Remember that Q&A icon is there for you to click on and submit your question. Before we get into that, just a reminder that our next start date for classes, online classes at USF, is March 8th. That's coming up quicker than you might think. And so in addition to any questions that you have today, we would love to hear from you and dig into your specific situation and help chart your path to success. So give us a call, 888-737-6587. Send us an email, info@online.sf.edu. We're going to put that info in the chat as well. Along with that, we've also created a website that gives you a taste of what it's like to be an online student. If you've never taken online college classes before, visit online.sf.edu/online-learning. We're also going to put that link in the chat as well. It gives you a little visual tour of our learning management system. So the place where you'll take classes, submit assignments, chat with professors and classmates and all that sort of thing. It's a great intro to what it's like to be an online student at USF. And again, the goal of all of this here, this whole team, all these resources that are available to you, is to get you to that graduation day. That's why we do what we do here at the University of St. Francis. So with that, like I said, we've got Justin, we've got Tahana, we've got Alicia here with us today. Hello, everyone. So glad to have you with us. And I'm just going to dive right in and get into questions. Justin, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to combine a couple different questions that I'm seeing here. Justin, I'd like you to explain a little bit more about cost. What can a person expect to pay for their online USF degree? And along with that, let's talk about financial aid. Obviously, with the impact of COVID, it has people wondering, what's going on with financial aid, what's the same, what's different. So Justin, if you can talk to us about cost and then about financial aid opportunities and how the pandemic has impacted those.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so as far as cost goes, it does differ depending upon program. Our graduate cost typically is $1,575 per class. So if you're a full-time student, you're looking at right around $6,300 per semester. Our undergraduates do vary depending upon how many credits you're taking, how many credits that you had transfer in. So those can defer a little bit. Typically, it's $425 per credit hour. So typically, I would guesstimate a semester right around $5,100. But again, those can differ depending on schedule. The great thing about University of St. Francis is we don't have any type of fee structure, so you don't have to worry about resource fees or anything like that. Cost per credit hour is actual cost per credit hour. For those that want to utilize financial aid, we do have that available to those that qualify. With our financial aid, not much has changed really as far as utilizing financial aid. There definitely has been some differences in deferment and interest and stuff like that that has happened, and you hear stuff down the road that may be happening. But the process is pretty straightforward still. You still fill out a free application for federal student aid. From there, depending upon the education level that you're attending, we might fill out undergraduate subsidized unsubsidized student loans or graduate subsidized unsubsidized student loans. So process really hasn't changed. Again, we will be there throughout that whole process for you.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Justin. Alicia, I'm going to send the next question your way. You mentioned in the recording talking about transcript requests and paying those transcript fees. And so seeing a question about, are there any sorts of limits or caps or anything related to those transcript fees or transcript requests? Are there certain conditions upon, you'll only accept transcripts if I took classes in a certain way or at a certain time? Fill us in a little more details around those transcript requests.
That's a great question. There are actually no caps on fees associated with ordering transcripts. As a matter of fact, here at University of St. Francis, we want to order all transcripts from every school that a student has attended, regardless if the classes were taken online or on campus. We want to be able to compile those transcripts together, evaluate those not only for acceptance into their program, but also to take a look and see if there's any possibilities for transfer of credits coming over for a student. So there's definitely no fee associated with caps. As far as ordering transcripts, we'll order from all schools that a student has attended, regardless of how many schools they've attended, and we'll help out with those fees as well to order those transcripts.
All right, great to hear. Thanks, Alicia. Tahana, this next question is for you. The role that you have, a success coach, that's a title that is probably new to a lot of people. And I know you and Alicia explained it in the recording. But I'm seeing questions around, what sort of information does a success coach have access to? Do they know grades and schedules, and how to use that information to reach out to and help students, particularly if they're feeling a little overwhelmed and they really need someone to turn to? So Tana, what sort of information do you know, and how to use that information to help students?
We have access to just about everything that a student has access to. We can see their grades, we can see their assignments that they post, we can see their schedule. We're able to see everything that deals with the student. So how we use that is during our calls, we strategize on what is the best opportunity for the student to be successful in the program, whether it's looking over, their courses and maybe moving things around, or if it's, creating a different plan for them, as well as maybe even giving them more resources that they need. We mentioned the tutoring services, and one of the main resources is getting in contact with their instructor. So usually when things do get overwhelming, we do request that they reach out to their instructor, because that's the individual that can best guide them through the courses and be able to assist them and during their different situations that may happen. So when we do have our conversations, we do create strategies and create plans for the students to be able to feel more comfortable with what they're doing in those times of need.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Tahana. Justin, I'm going to head back to you for this next question. Let's talk a little bit more about how enrollment coaches help students find the program that's their best fit. Say someone comes to you and it's like, I think I want a degree in business, but how can I know which business degree is right? Or how can I maybe see the classes that I might take and see if this is really on the right path for me? Talk about how you go through that process with students, making sure that they find that degree, that program that's the best fit possible for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So part of our process here is we definitely really want to get to know our students. help them, help us understand their goals, try to figure out exactly what they're looking to do, and then kind of cater a program to really what they're trying to accomplish. So part of our process is we do a small initial interview. We're going to talk to them about those things, and then from there, we also will send out a course descriptions. We'll go over the different classes that they would have. We also have a lot of different concentration points, anywhere from 11 to 13 concentration points, depending upon the program. So definitely we have that flexibility to kind of cater that program to fit their needs for sure.
Fantastic. And so if someone wants to know that, the specific classes that they want to take, yeah, get on the phone, send us a call, write us an email, and we can get you that information that you need. So thanks for that, Justin. Alicia, I'm going to go back to you for this next one. You talk about that success coach wears many hats. And so talk about kind of the difference of maybe when you have that success coach hat on versus that academic advisor hat on. Just again, let's dig into the many different things that a success coach does to support students.
Thank you. Yeah, we do wear a lot of different hats. We're both a student success coach and cheerleader, as well as their academic advisor. We're going to help a student determine the needs of their program, including helping out with their class schedule. We're there from the genesis of their program all the way through graduation. Tahana and I, we stay in constant communication with our students by setting up appointments. We do reach out every 2 weeks just to check in and see how class is progressing along, to see if there's any additional support or resources that a student may need. We're also going to send out helpful reminder emails, for students, to anything from reminding them to order their books for their next class session to reminding them to check their student emails and stay on top of those items. We're there to help students with their program plan as well as their class schedule. So that way a student can see what classes that they're going to take in the order that of succession that they're going to take those classes. We can even provide students with not only the list of the classes that they're going to take, but also we do have a PDF pamphlet that we can send out to students so that way they can see what the course description is for their classes that they're going to take. So we're here to help out in many different ways. Like I mentioned, providing resources along the way for students. And really, ultimately, our goal is to help a student be successful in their program and see them all the way through graduation.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Alicia. We've got time for a couple more questions. So if you haven't already, be sure to click on that Q&A icon and let us know what your questions are. Thanks for the questions that we've gotten so far. Tahana, this next one's for you. You talked about the career assistance, the career help that's available to students. I'm seeing a question. Do I have to wait until I'm close to graduation before I can get career help? How would you answer that, Tahana?
I would answer that with a no, because you don't have to wait until you graduate before you can get career help. Once you have access to your My Cougar connection, you'll be able to log in and be able to access the Career Center. They'll be able to help you with if you wanted to do any development with career coaching, resume and interview preparation, job search assistance through Handshake. There's the Cougar Readiness workshops, the mentoring program, and the graduate school research, and more. So we also have, like I talked about, the Handshake, where employers advertise open positions here with USF so that students and alumni can look for positions. So you have that as soon as you have access to My Cougar Connection.
All right, that sounds great. Yeah, don't wait. As soon as you're kind of interested in whatever field or what you're looking for, yeah, let us know. Reach out, and we can have that. And again, that's part of that career conversation. Even that we have in the beginning, as Justin was talking about. You've got that vision of what you want to accomplish, and we'll get you the program and the courses and the resources to be able to make that happen. I think we got time for one more question. I think it's one that each of you can weigh in on. Obviously, students have more choices than they've ever had before in terms of being able to pursue a degree online, lots of different places that they can go. And so the last question I have for each of you is, how is USF's support structure different? What sets USF apart in terms of support structure, in terms of the programs? Essentially, it's kind of why choose USF? What makes USF stand out compared to other schools that these students might be considering? So Justin, I'll start with you, and then Tahana, and then Alicia. Just again, let us know why USF, what sets it apart, why should students choose USF compared to maybe other schools in their consideration set. Justin, how would you answer that?
Yeah, I mean, I think not only do we provide an affordable but a quality program through USF, I think one of the most important things is that we have a graduation team that's going to be working with you all the way from step one. So you'll have an enrollment coach, you're going to have a success coach. We communicate together. We, definitely keep in touch on your process, everything from admissions through registration and then beyond. One thing that is really great about our success coaches is they really are professionals, is helping out students, kind of go through that road all the way to graduation. And I think, another thing that, I hear feedback from students with is it's nice that you don't have to call a 1-800 number and leave a message and maybe wait for somebody to contact you back. You contact me, Alicia, or Tahana directly, and we'll definitely get back with you.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Justin. Tahana, how would you answer that question of why USF? What sets USF apart?
I concur with what Justin said. Another thing that I would like to add is that, Alicia and I, we don't treat you like a number. We get to know you. We get to understand what your goals are, and we can relate with you and what you're doing with going back to school and being an online student. So the reason why I would say, to choose USF is because of the fact that you have people that can relate to you. Everyone here that you're going to work with, whether it's the enrollment coach, your enrollment specialist, even your instructors, they understand what you're trying to do. And they're willing to be there to assist you. I like to say that we're all a close-knit family. We work very closely with each other and make sure that we can support you no matter what your situation is. All you have to do is let us know. Alicia and I, we try to reach out to our students every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how you're doing in the program. And we care. That's one of the big things I can say is USF does care, and everyone is looking to be there for you as you're going through the program.
Excellent. Great insight. Thank you, Tahana. All right, Alicia, you're up now. And so again, what else do you have to add in terms of what sets USF apart?
I agree with everything that Justin and Tahana said. And to add to it, I would say that what really sets us aside is also our faculty. We have an amazing faculty staff that's there to help and support students as well. So one of the benefits to having a smaller class size is that, again, your professors are there to help and support you. They know you by name. They're very supportive. They're available for students, even though this is an online environment setting. The professors are, there. They have office, you know, basically office hours that they provide students typically in the beginning of class to say, hey, I'm available between these times. Some professors are like, hey, I'm available anytime, just email me or give me a call. So, the support that our students get not only from their professors, but also from their graduation team is very beneficial. The students always know who they can turn to, and if we don't have the answers, at least we can guide our students in the right direction. So, for lack of a better term, our students aren't there left alone in cyberspace to fend for themselves. They have a support team. They have professors that are there available to help them as well.
All right, fantastic. Alicia, Tehana, Justin, thank you so much for your time and for your answers. And thanks to everybody out there for your attendance and for your questions today. So one last reminder before we sign off, if you want to be part of the USF family and start experiencing this kind of support, we're here for you. Classes start March 8th, and so we're ready to assist you now to get you ready for that start date. And so again, we've put our phone number and email address in the chat, 888-737-6587 or info@online.sf.edu. And then again, if you want to get to know what it's like to be an online student at USF, visit our website, online.sf.edu/online-learning, which is also in the chat. So one last round of thanks to everybody involved in today's webinar, and thanks to you for attending. Stay safe and have a great rest of your day and week. Take care, everybody.